What's up, guys? It's Tim from Coastal Life Media, and welcome back to Six Flags Adventureland. Before we get started, I'd like to encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel for more Planet Coaster content as well as actual park vlogs. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for updates on when new videos are uploaded. Today, we are doing something a little bit different. For anybody who has become attached to any type of amusement park, zoo, or any type of actual place where attractions come and go, you know that attractions actually do come and go. And based on suggestions from viewers and a lot of people who have left comments on past videos, there has been a suggestion that I just cannot ignore to replace a coaster within this park. It is going to be something that is kind of hard to do because the scenery was built around it, but I am kind of excited to do this because I would like to add to this park something that is not necessarily available at many Six Flags parks. As you guys know, this park is based in the south suburbs of Chicago, about 2.5 to 3 hours away from Six Flags Great America. Now, given that Great America offers specific ride experiences, I would like to create a ride that does not reflect any of the rides that are offered at Great America. In fact, the first time I rode the type of ride that I'm going to build here today was actually at my trip to Magic Mountain. That's going to be my hint, but let's see which ride I'm going to place for this. That's right, unfortunately, Riddler's Revenge is the first on the chopping block here for this park. Honestly, there are a lot of reasons why I decided to replace this ride, other than the suggestions. For one, the ride layout is extremely dated for a park that will be built in 2015. However, based on the fact that Illinois already has a very popular, if not notorious, aero development coaster in the form of Demon at Great America, I believe that there would be another aero ride that would do much better in this park. And that is exactly what I'm going to go for here today. So, say goodbye to Riddler's Revenge, as it will not be here when we return from this update. So, heads up, I may have misspoke before when I said that this would be another aero coaster. I was wrong with that. I actually just caught that as I was building, and I rewatched what I already said, and I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna hear about that in the comments. But I'm going to let you guys know that this ride is so loosely based, and I do mean loosely based, on Full Throttle, that it is nothing like it. Except it's the same ride type, but that's about it. This is called Flamethrower. It is supposed to tie into Fireball right here because they're right next to each other. So you have Fireball and Flamethrower. The reason why I did that is because it is a full circuit launch coaster, and the default trains for this ride actually have flames on them. So I looked at it and I said, well, that would be kind of cool to just name this Flamethrower, as if the launch track was the thrower and you were the flame being thrown up into the hill. It's a reach, but I actually like it. It is a pretty simple layout that I did. I wanted to kind of create interactions where you could see it from different points of view. Like this one, like here's where you see the train leaving the station. You know, you would see it peeking out above the buildings and the trees. you know, so no matter where you're looking at it, you see a piece of this coaster and you're like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. even when you're far away from it, here on the other side of Chi-Town, you actually have a nice view of the hill that is not a top hat, but it does kind of serve that purpose of being the highest point of the coaster. And the crazy part is that it's only 70 feet tall. Now, I do believe I have to test this track again. Yes, I have to test it again because I had to change the direction of the station. But hopefully I don't embarrass myself as I did way back with the Superman coaster, for some reason there being an issue with G-forces. But the last time I tested it, it did come out with all green stats. I'm going to speed it up so that it can go ahead and do that. What I did was I kind of created like some type of an archway, like an arena archway, where you would walk under to get into the queue. There's going to be a nice overhead sign to kind of simplify the branding of this ride. And once you do that, you know, break off into the priority pass and then the main queue. The reason why, and I know I'm gonna get this a lot of times when Six Flags parks redo, not even Six Flags, a lot of times when amusement parks in general remove or replace a ride, one coaster with another, they'll try to reuse the station somehow. The reason why I did not do that, however, is because the original station was right here, and this being a launch coaster, I did not feel like it had enough space to actually launch from this ride, and I did not want to do a sharp turn out of the station. I have a gentle turn out of this one. So yeah, and also I wanted the launch to serve as an overpass for the arch. I had the arch thing in mind the whole time, and I wanted to do that, so I did not want to sacrifice that by just reusing the station, so I moved it to over here. So now what I've done is created kind of an extension of the original plaza where there will be like a small planter area. There will not be a ride photos with this coaster because believe it or not, newer coasters don't necessarily have the ride photos. Thinking about Max Force at Six Flags Great America, the coaster that debuted 2 years ago on July 4th. It's the newest coaster, it's the launch coaster, the first full circuit launch coaster to be in the park. They did not put a ride photos area in that for that ride. Why? Because people just don't really pay for ride photos. But what they do pay for are t-shirts. They pay for magnets and things like that. So of course that is going to be something that will be sold. I'm thinking about building a gift shop right here, just trying to fit it in so that you're not sacrificing the area around it to put it in. Or I could even try to I'm thinking about stuffing it back here. I'm not sure. That's a lot of things. That's something that I have to think about. In fact, I could even put it over here since the queue is no longer over here for that ride, and I could just move this somewhere else. And boom, that's done. So what I could do is move some trees around and put the gift shop right here, a small little gift shop that sells stuff themed to this ride and also themed to Fireball. That's something that I'm not going to do necessarily in this episode, more because I want to work on the scenery, a little bit more of the scenery for this ride. And as I said, Flamethrower does have all green stats. It's a little under a minute long. 2 inversions, 5 areas of airtime, high scenery rating, mainly because high track scenery rating, mainly because it flows through a lot of the buildings from the Chi-Town area. I don't have a Q scenery rating yet because I did not do Q fencing and all of that yet. But yeah, it is a lot. I did want to have a slight path interaction which this is a little close, but once you put the fencing right there, I think it'll be okay. So I'm not, and again, I'm not sure, but if I do end up having to move the queue, I will let you guys see it in the finished product. I'm also trying to find some ideas for the station building. I kind of want it to be almost like a racing theme, but I want it to also fit within the flamethrower theme. So I'm not sure. So I'm going to keep working, and I'll let you guys see what we come up with in the end. So now I have a sign. Basically, again, I went with the racing stadium tunnel. I guess it kind of reminds me of the. It slightly reminds me of the entrance to Top Thrill Dragster, with the tunnel made out of concrete. So I did have to redesign the queue slightly for a more realistic look. So basically, you have a curved cattle pin that hugs the curve of the coaster, and then it's a straightforward cattle pin up into the station, and you still have the priority pass right here. So the reason why I wanted to redesign it is because, as with any new coaster that I build, I always do like a crowd test, basically to see how the AI responds to the coaster in game. And I noticed that only having one cattle pin and then going into the coming from the entrance and straight into a cattle pin, it was causing a large crowd to form right here. And also because realistically, you would try to make it, you would try to get as much use of this land as you could. So basically, since I had the land right here, I figured why not just create a second cattle pen, take advantage of the curve of this coaster and use it to, fit more space into the queue. I am glad I did that. I made some custom lights here that aren't really that fancy looking. It just serves the purpose of lighting the queue. Now all I have to do is work on the station, and I do want to do some safety fencing around certain areas of the coaster, just to add to the realism. Of course, usually you want to put some fencing near most of the low points of the coaster for people who are like maybe cutting the grass, so that they know that there are certain areas not to go to while the coaster is active. I'm not sure if someone would be cutting grass while the park is open, but it's just something that I've seen in a lot of parks where they put fencing around the low point of the coasters, I guess for security of those who cut the grass, and just in case somebody accidentally wanders off into there. I did also heighten the high point of the coaster. I can't call this a top hat because it is not one. It is kind of rounded off, but I did heighten it. It's now 6 feet taller, and I did give it a new color scheme slightly. I went with the gray supports and track essence, or track whatever you want to call it, highlights, and then I have the orange main track, and then the rails are red, so it kind of gives it a more ominous look than just the red and orange, which was kind of comical looking, and I didn't really like that. I wanted this to be kind of an ominous-ish coaster, and I do like how you can barely see the top of the coaster if you're like maybe in the well, you probably wouldn't be able to see it at all, but if you are out or something and you can barely see the top of the coaster, and it does add to the skyline ever so slightly. So with that, I am about to work on some of the station elements and also some fencing around the main area. I did try to work out fitting a shop in this little corner, and it just did not work. And I don't really want to sacrifice this this quiet little corner right here. I really do like this passageway. It's almost like the reason why I built it like this is because, for one, we needed more seating areas, but having the trees kind of act as a reveal to the Chi-Town entrance is really nice. And I did not want to get rid of that or sacrifice that for a gift shop. But one thing that I can honestly say is I'm toying with the idea of getting rid of this ride. For one, it just kind of, I don't know, it is not really serving the purpose that I wanted it to. It's technically unnecessary to have a ride right here. When you have a coaster, you have what Six Flags would call another coaster, but coaster enthusiasts would never call a Larson Loop another coaster. And you have this ride area right here. I feel like it's cluttered, but I'm thinking about it. You guys let me know in the comment section. I won't make a move until you guys let me know. So with that, I'm going to do some more work over here, and I will let you guys know what I come up with. So I now have a station building to shelter the actual ride itself. Now, I honestly went with another flat topped cover, simple. Rather than have hanging lights, what I did was I used the lit color panels in the scenery package, and then I put lights above them, so it looks like the panels itself are lighting the station, but in reality it is the lights above them. So, you know, it just gives the illusion that it has like a large like lit panel, kind of like in the ceilings of those James Bond movies or something, you know. So that's kind of what I went for there. Nice and simple, nothing too complicated. I did do a little bit more work around with scenery, adding some foliage to the priority pass queue, and outside of the, outside of the ride area, adding a nice little planter area, doing some fencing work. So yeah, I it's starting to come together a lot better. I really do like the entrance area to this ride way more than Riddler's Revenge, because it was off to the side and tucked behind stuff. This one is more prominent, where it has a sign, and then it kind of leads you into the ride area. I like that. And then you literally don't get to see any of the queue from the outside, but then you see, once you go through the tunnel, you see everything kind of reveal itself slowly. So I do like that. I love the ride interaction with the queue, so that builds anticipation. Even towards the end, you kind of get to see that dip and then that rise back into the station. So I like what is done here with what I did with the queue. It is slightly different from what I normally do. I don't necessarily do a queue in this style, where you just have like a cover over or under the ride. It's kind of hard to do sometimes, especially with a lot of rides where you kind of have to master plan it. But I knew that I wanted to do this from the beginning, so it wasn't that hard with this type of ride, with the launch going over the tunnel. So with that being said, I am going to stop here, because I have this is actually 2 days worth of recording for this episode, believe it or not. So I want to take a break. I want to look around on maybe Google Street View and on YouTube to try to get some inspiration on what else I want to do within this, not just within this area, but within the park in general. Again, let me know if you if I should get rid of this ride right here. It originally when it was first built, it was a Swingin' Eagles ride. Then I made it an Orbit ride. I know it as Orbit from Great America. I'm not sure what anyone else calls it, but yeah. So let me know if I should delete that to make room for some shops and stuff in the center space right here, because I feel like that would kind of make sense. But just let me know what you guys think, because I am always open to suggestions. So with that being said, we now actually have a full circuit launch coaster. I know that we originally tried to do that with Blue Steel way back when it was an Intamin launch. It was originally an Intamin chain lift coaster, then it was a launch, and then it became a B&M tire launch coaster. That coaster went through a lot of changes, because it took a lot for me to try to get it right, and I wanted it to be right and fit within the park, and I wanted it to be a ride experience that was individual from other parks. So with that being said, I feel like I did it justice with what we did here. So yeah, everything with this ride is a work in progress. I still have some things that I want to do, even with basically terrain painting and all of that, to make it look more realistic. I did mention that I want to do some fencing and stuff like that, but I'm going to do that in another episode, or between episodes, so that next time we meet, it will be for something else. So with all of that being said, again, I would love to invite you to subscribe to this channel for more Planet Coaster content, as well as actual park vlogs that we do when we do have the chance to visit amusement parks. Greatly appreciate all of the love and support that comes from those who subscribe, those who like videos, leave comments, and all of that, and I would love for you to be one of them. My name is Tim from Coaster Life Media, and I will see you in the next video.